Mfundishi13CrystalSun. I have a book review I'm finna do. It's called, hold on, I'm finna show you. Black People Invented Everything by Dr.Sujan. I'm gonna show it again. That's the author. Well, I'm doing this book review, and honestly speaking, I'm not finished with the book, but it was so important that I thought I should do the book review while I have a chance. So this is the book review. I mean, it's great. Over 240 pages. I'm on 43rd page. The book goes into great depth of the inventions, when, what, where, and how everything in society came about. I mean, from colors, from the radio, chair, TV, everything comes from the people with the colored skin. I mean, I don't want to get caught up in the labeling African or original people. This book can help you grow. Once you exclude the labeling, in this book mainly, he uses the word black. So this book is inspiring, uplifting, and goes beyond measuring. Inventions help us liberate, because it can teach the youth that within is greatness to create. The opposite of create is destroy. Your main role in this society is to create. To create is to make money. First you make the product, copyright, copywritten, manufactured. Then you're the billionaire, you're the millionaire. Simple. This book taught me that I have the advantage over everyone that don't look like me. Simple. Simple. You would think with these facts in this book, people will be walking around praising us. This book explains opposite. It's a form of jealousy. Okay? These are the people that made everything. Let's steal it, hide the knowledge from them, and say we did it, and then we made the profits from the inventions. That's the game. This is a must-read book. I'm gonna put up again. Blacks Invented Everything by Dr.Sujan. I don't want to say his name wrong. I'm gonna show the back cover. That's a picture of him. Once again, this is Mfundishi13CrystalSun. This book is beautiful. It goes in great reward of how come the jealousy is formed our way to invent the society that we live in today and in ancient times, which is one in the same. That's greatness. That's beautiful. He has a phrase that I like in his book. He say, the more we make it, the more they take it. And it's just like the system of today. The more you make, the more they take, like taxes. So we are still under the same oppression as with the inventions that we have made. Let's say we don't have any proof. You can see our greatness of today. of the situation as we make today as a people. You know, from the steering wheel, from the car motor, our minds are functioning on a greater caliber than what don't look like us. Polar opposites destroy, we create. You would think, with common sense, how do you beat the creators? There's no beating us. It's easier to destroy than build. That's why people rather yield to destroying versus being the creator, taking more muscles, taking more strength, more reading, more studying, study guides. That's why people yield to being destructive. This book will help you on so many levels. Whether you think that we have done all of these listings, or you think that he just wrote it just to make us look higher than everyone else. This book is great. Know of this book. I took time out of my personal life, and as we speak, I bought a personal tripod from Best Buy. I just bought it just to do this video, to keep the youth and those who love being who they are as a people on a great standpoint, because this book can help you. Inventions that I thought that we haven't done that surprised me was the colors. All the colors have a agenda to them. Like purple means royalty. The book talk about the color blue, brown, and a lot of these so-called rappers are being manipulated with their own knowledge to suppress their own people, which was smart from the polar opposites. Not intelligent, because that's us. And intelligent comes from the word infinite. So that was smart. That was them just playing checkers. But we being the inventors of the situation make us the chess players. So once again, this is a good book. I mean, all the evidence. Common sense could tell a fool. Yeah. From the hairstyles, the shoes, the language, the slang we use. In a sense, it's like nothing doesn't change. It comes back in a different fashion. You know? I say different fashion, then that would sound like something changed. There has to be a word for this type of transition. Well, there's a word, Sankofa. Like people in English say, I lost, it never comes back. Sankofa means to return in greatness. So there is a word for books like this in a situation that we done in ancient times. Sankofa. Everything that's buried must grow. Every seed you plant must grow. So from George Washington Carver, Booker T, Washington quotes, you know, he talks about the motherland. It's the accuracy and the proof that we have as a people. So that's where the symbolic thinking and thought process come from. That's why the title is called Black People Inventing Everything. Because when you think about wickedness, you look at black people and say, did they make wickedness? No, we didn't make it. It was founded upon us because they saw greatness and thought, just do opposite. So everything is within us, and to bring out the worst, you just have to do opposite. Feel me? Black people have to have sun. You keep them in the shade, destruction. You take them out their original habitat, destruction. So in a sense, everything comes from us. Even when you want to get high off of murdering us, they get their happiness off of murdering us. They get their evil thoughts from us just by looking at us. Like, how can we destruct these people? They're just doing the opposite. That's why I call them polar opposites. So in a sense, you could say everything comes from us. Don't mean that we started it, but you could say it. Most of everything in society comes from us. Okay, you could look at a divine people and say, I'm gonna do this to him, I'm gonna do that to him. That's where evil comes from. It's not us just walking around telling people how to be evil. Once you mess with a divine people, that's what happens. Destruction every single time. The corner stores, the drug selling, the rappers, that's what happens when you tamper with the original way of life. Then he goes into, then the book rather, I should say, goes into where does HIV come from? This is something that was taught to me from reading this book. Monkeys and gorillas have a defense mechanism called SIV. That means when you go into nature messing with the animals, this is how balanced life is. When you go messing with the ecosystem and nature and animals, they create a defense mechanism in the spit, in the claws, and in the body, period. So when you harm them, they could bite you and put a virus into you. Now, you know, being us, people go home and they mate. So once the SIV enters the human body, it has become HIV. So even when the polar opposites think that they could conquer nature, there's a defense mechanism for that. Now you take it home to your wife, you mate with her, and then the polar opposite mates with someone black, and then we have the world pandemic of HIV. So that was something that was taught to me. I was like, wow. So most of these diseases are man-made. We are taught that it's in a laboratory, it got chemicals. This book explains that it comes from when you deal with nature on another destructive level. You mess with a lion, it will form a saliva. And it's true, because when you think about the snakes, they got the venom. When you go mess around with snakes, yeah, they're hot. Yeah, you know how it go. So it's other animals that has this feature. Whether they knew or didn't know, they go out to nature messing with it. You end up getting bit. The polar opposite go home, have sex with his wife or husband, because you know they into faggotry, and then all they had to do is mate with one African, one, not 10, just one. And you have the world pandemic of HIV and AIDS. And then you have to stand on, okay, since it's a world global spread all around the world, you would have to stand on like, wow, it's called a sexually transmitted disease. Now you have to think, who was the first person with it? So it makes sense. The SIV transpires to HIV. And here today we have millions of black people falling off the face of the earth because they want to conquer nature. And knowing us, we're one with nature. So once again, this is Mfundishi13CrystalSun. Blacks invented everything. You have to know this, because at various times you could think, where does evil come from? Evil come from us because we didn't start it. We were so divine that a people of a different skin tone, which I call polar opposite, came up with a concept of destructing us, and that's how evil came about. That's how it came. It's not our fault. We are divine. I would rather say it's their thoughts of testing their own knowledge of beating the divine. Who does that? Tamper with nature, weather, animals, and this is what it is. The evilness is not within us. It's people that's inflicting situations on us, and then we have to act out of character. That's why life comes with principles, do's and don'ts. You do this, reward it. You do that, reward it. And you would think by time they would stop, but they're never gonna stop because it's about power and control. You're not evil, you're not born in sin, you're a divine being. Simple. That's where all this wickedness is coming from, because everyone is trying to control us, tell us when, what, where, and how life came about. They dismantle our history, mind games, trickery, programming, the whole 10 yards, the whole first down. Just because you're divine. That's where everything is stimulating from. Now we have been doing evil acts because now we think we are evil. No, it's your essence that's bringing it about. So when I call them the polar opposite, yes, they are opposite of us. We are the righteous people. We don't have to steal, take, and lie. This book explains it all. Mind you, it's 240 pages. I'm on 143rd page. Mfundishi13CrystalSun.